Oda has always loved taking inspiration from different mythologies when it comes to the world and characters of One Piece. Especially in the recent Egghead Island arc, we saw that Oda had drawn inspiration from different cultures and mythologies for the awakened form of the Gorosei. After all, the abominations that are the Gorosei didn't just pop out into existence. There had to be inspirations taken from somewhere. Just as an example, the awakened form of Jupiter looks just like a sandworm from the very popular novel and new movie Dune. Jupiter's form seems to be straight out of the novels, with his great length and ability to devour just about anything. Doesn't it seem familiar to the sandworms we've seen living on the planet Arrakis? So that clears that up. Now, we know that Oda sometimes likes to draw inspiration from other forms of media or mythology, but you might be thinking, where is Pirate Sensei going with this? So sit back, because if this theory is real, then we might know just how the final saga of One Piece is going to end up. With the final saga of One Piece finally in full swing, Oda is holding nothing back. With major players like Blackbeard and the world government finally making their moves, we are finally beginning to see just how the final saga is going to unfold. And if we look at places where Oda has drawn inspiration, we might get a hint about how the story of One Piece will end. So without wasting any more time, let's dive into the theory and try to figure out how the final saga of One Piece is going to play out. Let's take a look at some of the biggest hints that has been staring us in the face for a long time. For one, the names of the ancient weapons: Poseidon, Pluton, and the mysterious Uranus. I mean, fans and people who take interest in Greek mythology know all about these three. Oda has obviously taken inspiration from Greek myth time and time again. Why wouldn't he do so again? Another one of the major hints is the ship buried in Fishman Island, the Noah, also known as the Ship of Promise. Clearly, the name was inspired by Noah's Ark. Now, I am pretty sure that I don't have to tell you the story of Noah's Ark and how everything got flooded. Plus, we still don't know what Noah's actual mission and purpose are yet. But there's a big chance that they are related to the myth that the giant ship is inspired by, and none other than the legendary savior and warrior of liberation, JoyBoy, was the one who was supposed to get the ship out of the sea and in action. But we all know how it ended up. JoyBoy failed to fulfill his promise to the people of Fishman Island, but promised that someone will arrive one day to fulfill his promise to them. So while JoyBoy could have fulfilled the role of Noah, somehow he was defeated and couldn't do so. But all hope wasn't lost. Why, you might ask? Well, because the person that JoyBoy said will come to fulfill the promise is the beloved captain of the Straw Hats. That's right, the second coming of JoyBoy is the one who will fulfill the promise to the people of Fishman Island. And with the things going on, Luffy might just be the one to save the world from the flood that's to come. And that's not all. The story of Noah isn't the only place which Oda could have taken inspiration from. Even Greek myths has had its fair share of natural disasters, with God punishing humans. Oda could have taken inspiration from the tale of Deucalion from Greek mythology. His story is too similar to Noah, and even Deucalion makes a giant ship or ark, which is to survive the great flood that Zeus punished the humans with. So how does the legend of Deucalion connect to the legendary JoyBoy, and by extension our beloved Captain Luffy? Well, for one, both JoyBoy and Deucalion wanted to save humans or humanity from the flooding. JoyBoy obviously failed, but since Luffy is his second coming, this means that JoyBoy gets the chance at redemption. But Luffy has already been to Fishman Island and couldn't help them bring Noah to the surface. Well, when Luffy last visited Fishman Island, no one knew that he was meant to be the incarnation of JoyBoy. That might be why JoyBoy's promise to the people was left unfulfilled once again. Luffy only became JoyBoy when he unlocked the awakened form of his devil fruit. As Kaido had hit Luffy to the ground and he was transforming, that was when Zunesha recognized him by his heartbeat, which was the drums of liberation, which was when Luffy truly became the reincarnation of the legendary JoyBoy. So if we follow the Greek myths now, Luffy is in the same shoes as Deucalion, the savior of humanity, the one who will save them all from the flood. Luffy is the inheritor of JoyBoy's will, and he is the one who will fulfill all of JoyBoy's promises to the world. And with the world about to sink, it might be time for Luffy to step up and save humanity soon. But that is not all. Luffy and Noah aren't the only ones that fit into this theory. Even the notorious world government and Gorosei have a place in it all. Since Imu and the Gorosei consider themselves to be righteous, they fit perfectly into the shoes of the Greek god Zeus. Zeus, who was the one who caused the flood in the first place. The Greek gods are known for being flawed and selfish, so the Gorosei and Imu in place of them would make sense as well. And it makes even more sense when you think about what Vegapunk had said during his broadcast. From what we know, the allied kingdoms had to join together to defeat JoyBoy, and they could only do it when they finally used the ancient weapons. And that is what caused the flood that wiped out entire continent. Do you see where I'm going with this? The New World Government was the one that caused the sea levels to rise all those years ago. The World Government was the one that brought on the destruction just to defeat JoyBoy. And from the looks of it, they're planning on doing it all over again. After all, if they could cause that much destruction all that time ago, who's to say Imu would do that all again? Their arch nemesis is back and is going to be much stronger. Much stronger this time around. So why wouldn't the world government use everything it could to make sure that Luffy is destroyed? That is the only place I imagine One Piece is going to deviate from myths, right? Since the flood only happened once, there are going to be two this time around. One happened all those years ago in the Void Century, and the other one is now on its way to wreck humanity once again. This is one of the ways that Oda could have been inspired by the tale of Deucalion and Noah. Kings and warriors save humanity from a devastating flood so that humanity may prosper once again. It's like the stories of Deucalion from Greek mythology and Noah from the Bible, both of which are incredible heroes who save humanity from massive floods. Even One Piece has its own version of Deucalion. After all, the captain of the Straw Hats isn't just for show. Luffy is going to save the world, just you see, right? Just you see. Oda has this knack for combining legends from the real world into the world of One Piece, and JoyBoy is no exception. And now, with Luffy as his reincarnation, the legendary warrior is back in action. Moreover, because of Vegapunk's broadcast, we know that the ancient weapons are just laying around waiting to be used again. But here's the twist with the world government. They don't have these weapons under their control. Right now, all three ancient weapons are far from the hands of the world government, which adds a whole new layer of tension and uncertainty. How far would these monsters go to get their hands on this power? Or do they need the power of the ancient weapons anymore? I mean, have you seen the Gorosei in action? Luffy at his strongest wasn't able to do anything against them. And Natsujiro cut a whole cloud in half with ease. And Imu is the one to whom all the Gorosei bow down to. That just goes to show you that Imu is even stronger than all the Gorosei combined. So the question is, do these monsters even need the power of the ancient weapon? But Luffy, as he is now, isn't strong enough to defeat all these people. Even the Gorosei are too much for him at his current strength. But how was JoyBoy strong enough to face the allied nations and even the power of the ancient weapons? This means that even after unlocking his gear 5th form, Luffy might be in for an upgrade soon. Because of the way he is now, there's no way he stands a chance against Imu and the powers of the Gorosei combined. But let's think about Luffy's place in all of this for a second. Luffy isn't just another pirate chasing after the title of the Pirate King anymore. With him being the reincarnation of JoyBoy, Luffy is stepping into the shoes of one of the greatest warriors in the history of the world. He is no longer just a pirate to watch out for. It wouldn't be a stretch to say that the fate of the world might rest on Luffy's shoulders. But we all know that Luffy isn't the one to take prophecy seriously. So what if he is the reincarnation of JoyBoy? I still think that Luffy will stay the way he is. I mean, he'll be aware of who JoyBoy is and realize that he is one of the most important people in the world. But that won't change who he is and what he does. He will always be the captain of the Straw Hats, a fighter for freedom, and someone who wants to become the Pirate King. But if he wants to survive what's to come, Luffy needs to realize who he is and just what his role is in the world. Maybe after he finally finds out who JoyBoy is, Luffy will gain a new power-up and be able to fight the Gorosei on even ground. People all over the world know that the JoyBoy is finally back. But right now, Luffy himself doesn't know that he is JoyBoy. And if he fails to realize that, then history is going to repeat itself, with the world government winning again and the world sinking even deeper. So, as with all stories that have heroes in them, the Straw Hats, and especially Luffy, have to realize their role in the world right now. The Straw Hat fleet might be the greatest enemy of the world government right now, but with the chaos on Egghead Island, it is possible that other players will finally begin to make their move. The Blackbeard pirates already got away with Saturn's appearance and could be anywhere in the world by now. But the world government is all focused on the Straw Hats and Vegapunk. Maybe their encounter with the Gorosei is a blessing in disguise. Even if the Straw Hats lose against the Gorosei on Egghead Island, at least they'll learn from it. And when Luffy finally comes to terms with who he is and what his role in the world is, maybe we will finally get to see the captain of the Straw Hats wreck the Gorosei and Imu, just like his past self might have done in his time. But the world is sinking. Will the Straw Hats be able to escape the island in time and live to fight another day? I guess it all boils down to one thing. Will this version of Deucalion be able to save humanity from the flood? Or will he fail just like JoyBoy before him? Just what else does Oda have planned for our crew? And with that, I'll be taking my leave. But don't forget to drop the mother flame on the subscribe button before leaving. And until next time, this is Pirate Sensei setting sail and signing out. See you guys in the next video.